Hi Cap, welcome to your quantum reading. This is for Capricorn Sun Moon Rising. Welcome to my cross-watcher. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. The message could be for you. Feel free to take it however it resonates with you in your situation. Keep in mind these are general and timeless readings. Oh, I'm not doing that this week. Actually, yeah, these are going to be different readings. I hope you guys, if you celebrate, had a good holiday. These are going to be quicker message, no extended this week, but we'll go ahead and dive in here. Okay. All right, the very first one that came out, we have the thread. Looks like it's in the reverse. Okay, and as you can see, it's like coming out of some kind of process. I usually refer to it as a dark night of the soul, if you guys are like into that or you believe in it. So we have in the external environment, let's see. I'm not going to pull all of these. I'm just trying to get an idea of what's going on there. On the eternal child. Okay. There may be, I don't know if I want to full on say that this is like an obstacle that's presenting itself, or maybe it's talking about, because I always talk about this being a path that's like staying true to yourself. And in the reverse, it can be sometimes like going against your own knowledge or your own truth. If you know you need to do something and then going deliberately against it, it's kind of like that. Because I feel like with the thread card, it's kind of like when you have to follow this way out of a process and this path, and all of these things present itself. This can just straight up talk about your emotions, that, you know, if there's kind of like something else going on that's like a negative emotion, that can always for sure represent that. But it can be that certain things will pop up in your life that take you off path, and then you have to realign yourself with, okay, you know, this is what's true to me and like my morals, my values, things like that. Like you have to constantly get in touch with that, because everyone has their own demons. Like, I don't care who you are. So the very first card we have out, the Six of Wands, we have the Nine of Wands. This could be a process that's been going on for a pretty long time. We have the Fool card, and we have the Chariot is in the reverse. Okay. If you've been dealing with a Cancerian, they feel stuck, trapped, whatever it is. They also feel like right now they cannot move forward. You may be receiving attention, standing out, or getting recognized for the efforts you've been putting in. Because there's an Ace of Wands. There is the Judgment. There's the Knight of Cups in the reverse. The Hermit is in the reverse. We have the Devil in the reverse. Oh, that is actually your card. Okay. And we have the Two of Swords in the reverse. See, that's why I usually use my other deck, because that word sounds really negative. But isn't it funny? I said battling your own demons. Okay. So there could be this situation going on. If there are some kind of blockages or things that have been presenting themselves, there may be a new avenue that is opening up at this time. That's the Fool card, where you could go off in a particular direction or something like that. There's something like, because of this like recognition that you could be receiving, it's like this is going to keep you going or keep you motivated. That's kind of what this feels like, this whole combination. That this is what's going to keep you going through the tough stuff. That's the Nine of Wands. When you just feel like giving up, or, you know, that you're putting all this effort in and sometimes you're not seeing the result, but this is probably this like moment of being recognized for everything that you did and everything that you had done. that's coming up, and we have the Judgment here, okay, that's right on the other side of this. So this could be, like I said, this looks like some kind of thing that's presenting itself, and you can go in the direction of this, but there could be something popping up here. There's like, okay, if this is talking about Cancerian, because that's your opposite sign, there could be this person that's having, I don't know if these are like car issues, or there's just like a lot of travel, but it's like going backwards, or this person, they either feel blocked or stuck, or yeah, that's kind of what this feels like with this person. They feel stuck or trapped. And the way they're looking at you is that you won, or that you accomplished something, or that you could be beating out. Like if there was some kind of challenging time that you went through, you could have had some kind of recognition that popped up. So here's this thing, this rebirth, this, oh, the Judgment. Okay, so when this opens up, you may, it's almost like, I always talk about that when you're going through this Judgment, it's like a door that opens and you can go through it, but sometimes you'll have to pass through and have like your character and be judged like for your actions and things like that, because, and so maybe there is some kind of judgment that would happen potentially, whatever that's talking about. It's like maybe that's not a good thing. This is like, there could be some kind of person that's an expert in some way, because that's the Hermit, and they're like an analyst. They're typically a person that shares their wisdom. And for a time, there was a person that was like trying to assess some kind of situation and kind of figure out what was going on here. And it's like you can pass through this Judgment like portal, if you will. It's an opportunity for like a rebirth in your life, where you can kind of like recreate yourself, or you can do something, either something completely different. But that's why I was saying, if you pop up here in someone's sights, there could be someone here that's like really assessing, and this is a professional, legit. That's the Hermit in the reverse. This person may be analyzing, they're like looking at how you did things, because when you pass through this, sometimes people can cut corners, or, you know, do things that are out of the norm. Typically they say with this, winning at all costs. And so for you, if anyone does kind of get hurt in the process, sometimes like everyone nobody gets away with the whole karma thing. And so it's like, if something has been playing out, I don't know how to express this fully, but when you get into this energy, when you're like really burnt out and overwhelmed, and there's a lot of responsibilities and things that are accumulating, you have the opportunity to pass through this. But like I said, you will be judged, your character will be judged, and you generally have to kind of like, you can meet yourself and how you showed up in situations, like if you did the right thing, and if you tried to do right by people in your life and things like that. That's the significance of Judgment, is if you were really taking into account other people's emotions, or if all of a sudden there were certain people where you just kind of like shut down because this was too hard, and so you didn't like take care of a situation the way that you could. And so sometimes if someone's emotions have been affected here, then that's sometimes where it's like you'll have to pass through that shadow first before you can really open up into this judgment energy. So I don't know if that made any sense, but it's like if you've been really emotionally connected to someone else's process, and sometimes the craziest part is if someone's emotions were affected and you didn't, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be like, oh, you directly did something to hurt this person. You could have been brought into a situation and like totally unbeknownst to you, someone else got hurt in the crossfires, you know, like, and if you were used as a pawn, you know what I mean, in that kind of a situation, that's why people can pull away, because looking at yourself, it takes a lot. Like that saying they say, the only way out is through. They do not kid around with that process, because eventually you really do come around and you see what other people have gone through, and their emotions, like the things they had to go through just by you two connected to each other. And that's the awakening here, is really just looking at yourself and how you deal with certain situations in your life. And so anyway, that's basically what I was getting around to, because that the devil in the reverse, it's just shadow work. It's just everyone has one. That's why I don't really get caught up into readings. Yes, there can be victims for sure, but like a lot of stuff can just turn back around in life. You know, things can come back around, especially things that you were putting out. They generally do come back around eventually. And so that's why that awareness can help you to be ultra conscious of your decisions and, you know, the way that you handle people in your life and stuff. It is helpful. Anyway, I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Like I said, again, there's not going to be an extended for this week, but I hope you guys got something useful from this, and I'm sending you so much love, wishing all the very best. See you in the next reading. Take care.